Right now, Japan is trying to accept more and more immigrants, but I am against the current government's immigration policy because it is not well planned. I'm not against immigrants themselves. I'm only against accepting a large number of immigrants just for cheap labor for big companies and for the personal interest of politicians. When I say this, some people call me a racist who hates immigrants. If they want to call me that, they can. Unlike them, I accept diversity of opinions.
Meshida.
Recently, I received many messages from Germans, British, and Canadians after making a video about Japan's immigration issue. They said things like, "Japan, learn from us, otherwise your own traditions and culture will disappear, just like ours did." I was really surprised and moved. I learned that Canada also has traditions and culture. I'm sorry, Canadian people. I misunderstood. When I was a student, learning Japanese history was really hard. I had to memorize many books. Sometimes I envied Canadians because they only had to memorize a few books. But recently, even in Canada, anti-immigrant movements are happening. Yes, Canada, the kind and polite country famous for saying sorry all the time. Can you believe it? Even Justin Bieber, who represents Canada, sings sorry in his songs. But now, some Canadians have started saying fuck immigrants. Even though Canada is a country built by immigrants, immigrants are even rejecting other immigrants. They said, if immigrants come, safety will get worse. I guess they finally understand how the indigenous people feel. In countries that accept a lot of immigrants in the name of diversity, opposition to immigration can also grow as a form of diversity. And this creates division in the country. Why? Because liberals promote diversity, but they often don't accept the diversity of conservatives. As a result, left-wing activists go in circles in their thinking and right-wing activists do the same. And neither side moves forward.
Meshida.
In Japan now, some Western left-wing activists who live here, their job is usually teaching English, say things like, Japan has only 3% immigrants, why are you trying to limit them? Japanese people have no diversity, they are racist, unlike us in Western countries. But most of these people have lived in Japan for years, yet they cannot speak Japanese and have no Japanese friends. They don't accept Japanese culture or diversity. Yet, they call Japanese people racist. Honestly, I think they are the real racists. This is my opinion, but foreigners who have adapted to Japanese culture and customs tend to be against immigration. Why? Because they feel like Japan is their own country. They don't want more immigrants coming in. Good immigrants often hate other immigrants.
Meshida.
Japan is a homogeneous country with many unique rules. Communicating with Japanese people is very difficult. We often avoid direct expressions and speak indirectly. So, you must understand the intention behind the words and translate Japanese into Japanese correctly. Even Japanese people sometimes cannot adapt to Japanese culture and leave the country. So, how can a foreigner who comes only to work adapt to Japan's culture?
Meshida.
Also, Japanese women often cannot clearly say no like Western women can. They cannot refuse sexual harassment easily and sometimes endure it. This is clear if you look at the harassment culture on Japanese trains. Many Japanese perverts target these women. Also, when Japanese women have sex, they sometimes say no even when they mean yes. This is the Japanese cultural idea of 嫌よ嫌よも好きなうち. It means no means yes. Furthermore, Japanese adult video is spread around the world. The Japanese women's response of no or 嫌嫌 are misinterpreted internationally. Recently, there have been news reports of immigrants in Japan taking Japanese women to parks or cars and committing sexual crimes. The suspects often claim the women consented, and many cases are not prosecuted. They may excuse themselves by saying that in Japanese AV, women cry and scream, so they thought that was what women want. Unfortunately, it is said that in European countries, after accepting many immigrants, the number of sexual assaults against women has increased. Even Western women who clearly say no are attacked. So, what will happen to Japanese women? The Japanese government solution will probably be like putting posters in train stations to stop harassment. So they'll put posters in parks and parking lots saying "Stop raping," using cute characters. Of course, many immigrants work hard and pay taxes, and I respect that. But if Japan accepts a large number of immigrants without the proper policies and screening, the results will be clear, as we can see in Germany and the UK. This is not just my opinion. Many people say it from experience.
Meshida
Japanese people are said to have the best passports in the world, but only about 70% of Japanese people have a passport. Most Japanese people only know Japan. For them, foreigners are aliens. Of course, people who love Japanese culture, learn Japanese, and want to work in Japan are very welcome. But unfortunately, current wages in Japan are low, and the jobs most immigrants from Asia are asked to do are jobs that Japanese people do not want because the system is not strong. If you are unlucky, you may have to work in poor conditions. In that situation, it is impossible to adapt to Japan. They will probably end up disliking Japan and start their own community in Japan and don't follow local rules like European countries.
Meshida
Thank you very much for watching this video. Now I'm organizing my solo stand-up comedy show YY Japan and comedy tour in the red light district. Please check out link below. So see you in Tokyo.